All right, let's jump right in. We all have these big goals, right? These massive things we want to change about our lives. And we usually think that means we need to make some huge, dramatic effort. But what if that's all wrong? What if the real secret to getting incredible results is actually hidden in the smallest, most insignificant things we do every single day? Well, that's exactly what we're going to unpack. This quote right here from author James Clear just flips the script on everything we've been taught about success. We're always told to focus on the goal, the big prize at the end. But he argues that's not what matters. It's the system, the process you follow day in and day out that actually determines where you end up. And this is probably the best way to think about it. It's like compound interest for your life. Making one good choice today, eating one healthy meal, reading one page of a book, it doesn't seem like much. A bad choice doesn't seem like a big deal either, but over time, they compound. Those tiny habits multiply into something absolutely massive. And if you want to see the math, it's pretty mind-blowing. If you could just get 1% better each day for a single year, you don't just end up 365% better. No, because of compounding, you end up almost 37 times better. It's an insane reminder that small, consistent effort is the real engine of growth. Okay, so if that's true, why does it so often feel like we're just spinning our wheels? You know the feeling, right? You start a new habit, you stick with it for a few weeks, and nothing. You see no results. Well, there's a really important reason for that. It's this idea called the plateau of latent potential. The best analogy is an ice cube. Imagine an ice cube sitting in a room that's 25 degrees. Now you slowly start raising the temperature, 26, 27, 30, 31 degrees, and nothing happens. It's still a block of ice. It feels like all that energy was wasted. But then you hit 32 degrees and bam, you get a breakthrough. Your habits are the exact same way. Most of the progress happens beneath the surface before you see any visible results. And that right there brings us to this huge mindset shift. If we know that progress is often invisible at first and that just staring at our big goals can be discouraging, then what should we be focusing on? Well, the answer is the process, the system.
So let's get this straight. A goal is the result you want. I want to run a marathon. A system is the collection of habits that gets you there. I will run 3 times a week, stretch every morning, and eat better. And here's the real kicker. Winners and losers in any field, they usually have the exact same goals. What separates them is their systems.
So here's the bottom line. Whatever results you have in your life right now are simply a lagging measure of your past habits. The amount of money in your bank account is a lagging measure of your financial systems. Your physical fitness is a lagging measure of your health systems. If you want to change the outcome, you have to change the system that produces it.
But just changing a system can feel like a chore. It's hard to stick with something if it doesn't feel connected to you. And this is where we get to what I think is the most profound idea in this entire approach. Real, lasting change always starts from the inside out.
You can think of behavior change happening in 3 layers. On the outside, you have your outcomes, the results. In the middle, you have your process, the habits and systems. But at the very core, the deepest level, is your identity, what you truly believe about yourself. Now, most people try to change from the outside in, but that's completely backward. And this just lays it out perfectly. The typical, less effective way is to start with the outcome. I want to lose 20 pounds. The far more powerful way is to start with your identity. I want to become the type of person who is healthy and active. You see the difference? When you focus on who you want to be, the actions you need to do start to feel natural, not like a sacrifice. This example just nails it. Think about 2 people trying to quit smoking. When offered a cigarette, the first person says, "No thanks, I'm trying to quit." They still see themselves as a smoker who is resisting their nature. The second person says, "No thanks, I don't smoke." It's a small change in language, but it reflects a massive shift in identity. The behavior just flows from that new belief. And this is how you build that new identity. It's not about one big decision, it's about thousands of tiny ones. Every single action you take is like casting a vote for the person you want to be. Go to the gym? That's a vote for I'm a fit person. Write one paragraph? That's a vote for I'm a writer. Your habits are how you embody a new identity. So this is all great in theory, but how do we actually do it? How do we build these systems and cast those votes for our future selves? Well, lucky for us, there's a simple, practical blueprint for engineering our own habits. First, you just have to understand this basic loop. It's the 4-step pattern that every single one of your habits, good or bad, follows. There's a cue that gets your brain's attention, which leads to a craving for a change in state that motivates a response or action, which delivers a reward. The 4 laws we're about to see are designed to let us take control of this loop.
And here they are, the whole toolkit. To build a good habit, you just walk down the list. Make the cue obvious, make the craving attractive, make the response easy, and make the rewards satisfying. And what if you want to break a bad habit? Well, you just flip it. Make it invisible, unattractive, difficult, and unsatisfying. Simple, right?
All right, let's get our hands dirty. How can you use this toolkit to start being an architect of your own life? We're going to do a quick run-through of a few super practical techniques you can use with these laws. For that first law, make it obvious, one of the most powerful tools is called habit stocking. The idea is simple. Instead of trying to remember a new habit out of the blue, you piggyback it onto a habit you already have. Your old habit becomes the cue for the new one. The formula is literally this easy. After I do my current habit, I will do my new habit. So after I pour my morning coffee, I will meditate for 1 minute. Or after I take off my work shoes, I will immediately change into my gym clothes. It makes the cue impossible to miss. You can see here how it creates this awesome chain reaction. But what about the other laws? For make it easy, use the 2-minute rule. Scale any habit down so it takes less than 2 minutes. Read every night becomes read 1 page. For make it satisfying, give yourself an immediate reward. Every time you do your new habit, cross off a big X on a calendar. It sounds silly, but that little hit of satisfaction tells your brain, hey, do that again. All right, let's bring this all home. If you take away nothing else, remember these 4 things. First, those tiny 1% improvements are what lead to jaw-dropping results over time. Second, stop obsessing over goals and start building better systems. Third, remember that the real goal is to change who you are. Every habit is a vote for your identity. And finally, use those 4 laws. They're your practical guide to designing a better life. So I'll leave you with this question. This isn't about some massive life makeover that starts tomorrow. It's about one tiny, almost laughably small action you can take today. What is one small habit you can start that will cast a single vote for the person you really want to become? What's your first vote going to be?